Today we're looking at how do I look after my bonsai. I've been given a bonsai as a gift. How do I look after it? First thing to do when you get your bonsai is to make sure that the container is correct, that it's going to be fine size wise, and one of the most important things is to make sure that it's got good drainage. You have to have a hole at the bottom of your container, something like that, to make sure that when you water it you get good drainage. Otherwise, if you have a container like this and you check it, I'm just going to take that plant out. If you don't have drainage at the bottom, you are going to drown your plant. Most of the plants that we get in our intensive care nursery, people bring them in saying, my plant is dying, it's looking sick, and I'm watering it more and more. But what do? They drown the plant because they haven't got a hole in the bottom of the container. So that's the first thing. If you have a container like this, you will need to either drill it or change it, get another container and put your plant into there. So that is your first thing to look out for. Make sure that you've got good drainage in the bottom of your container. So if we've got a plant that you've been given, you want to firstly make sure that you keep it alive. So to do that, you need to water it and feed it. Same as you need water and food. How much water do you give it? You want to give your plant during summer a watering at least once a day, or else once every 2 days. Provided you have your holes in the bottom of the container, you're not going to overwater it. And when you do water it, you want to fill the whole profile. Make sure that you're giving your plant enough water to fill and wet the whole profile of the soil. Now the reason why you need to water it that often is in the pot it's got a limited amount of soil and you have contained it in the container, so it can't dig deep like a tree would out in the wild, put down a big taproot and be able to go through the dry periods. The plant in your container has got limited access, so you need to give it water round about every 2 to 3 days if need be. And the other side of it is you need to feed your plant different types of food, water soluble feeds, and here you'll feed during summer round about once a week. During winter you thin it out to about once a month. Now the important thing with your feeding is to stick to the instructions. You can feed more often, but you can kill your plant if you go too strong, so stay with the mixing recommendations that are on the label, and it would be a good idea to get at least 2 types and alternate. 1 week you feed with the one type, the other week you change to the other one. Now your feeding is a water soluble food, so the important thing to remember is wet the profile first, water your plant, and then you would mix to the strength required and just give the plant a little feed like that. That is enough per week to sustain it, and you would then carry on watering it every 2 days or so. Where do you keep your plant? Most bonsai trees need to be outside. They are actual living trees and they need to have sunlight, rain and wind. It is also fine to have your plant, if you don't have outdoor access, be in a flat or an apartment, choose a light area, possibly a windowsill, and somewhere where you can open the window occasionally for it. So it's fine for a plant to come indoors. You can actually bring it in for decoration over a weekend or whatever and take it out afterwards. But just again, if you're putting it onto that windowsill, make sure that it doesn't get the baking hot afternoon sun. If you're able to, you can put it in the sunlight in the morning and move it into shade, or watch during the seasons as the sun moves summer to winter, actually move your plant so that it's not getting that afternoon sun. So you want to select an area where your plant will get some sunlight, but preferably not the midday heat, midday through to early afternoon. That intense sun heat warms up the soil and can actually burn the roots. So you want to select an area that might have mottled sunlight, a little bit of shade, and will go into shade during the midday and afternoon sun, but preferably get a little bit of morning sun to keep your tree nice and hardy and growing well. So that's the placement of your tree. The only other thing that you will need to do is occasionally prune your tree. That is another whole story. We will cover that in another video another day. Thank you for joining us. Look after and enjoy your plant. You will have fun with it.